Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So here we are, another Saturday Night Live with a special guest, Kim. And oh, be careful with the mic. We're hearing the noises.
I'm sorry.
Oh,
Can you still hear me though?
yeah. Everything's
wonderful.
Don't change anything. All right. So Kim, after a little challenge, no big deal. We're honored to have you, share your experience and what's going on now after your what you did. What 108 days?
117.
Oh yeah, you did. You went longer. That's right. I keep so many.
Yeah.
It's hard to keep track of everybody. You went really out there. Awesome. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your background and your lifestyle, how it was, and how you came to be, and what brought you to MasterFast, how you found it. Just maybe go over a few things so we have an idea, a picture of your situation.
Well, basically, I've been a big kid, a big baby, big kid, big woman all my life. I grew up in the south of Georgia. I'm from Georgia. I still live here. And I come from a long line of very, very great Southern cooks. I mean, very, very, very great Southern cooks. And all the good stuff that's bad for you. Mm-hmm. And I inherited the gift to cook. And it's always been my drug of choice. Always been my drug of choice. When you were a little kid, if to keep you from crying, they give you something good to eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was always the drug of choice, even when they didn't even realize what they were doing. They were building this, this monster of a thing in my life. I thought it was them showing me love. They thought it was them showing me love, but actually it created a dysfunction, a lifelong dysfunction that I've been trying to rid myself of for a very long time.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Most of us have gone down these kind of roads.
Yeah, but I don't know. I know you're Italian, right? Mm-hmm. And like Sunday dinner, my grandmother would at least cook 2 or 3 meats, 2 or 3 desserts. It's like a whole smorgasbord of food. You know what I'm saying? And it felt like love to me. You know what I'm saying? Nurturing love, and that's what I associated with comfort and joy. But as I got older, early on, even as a teenager, I began to see that I had a problem. A problem with food, with using it in the wrong way, not for nourishment, but to fill a void in my life. I dealt with depression since I was a teenager. I would just sleep. You know what I'm saying? I would just sleep, stay up all night, sleep all day. I stayed in my room all the time. I was a big girl. I'm tall. I'm 6 feet tall. And I'm a big girl, and I got teased a lot. You know what I'm saying? So my only
escape
was having a book, reading a book, and eating. So that was basically my teenage years. I hated being a teenager. I didn't participate in anything. I usually hung around older people, and that had its good things and bad. I learned a lot of wisdom, but I was prone to a lot of things that young people shouldn't even be knowing about at an early age. You know what I'm saying? I've had sexual abuse as a teen several times, and very promiscuous. Because I felt in some kind of way, my mind felt like that would make someone love me. That would make someone like me if I was more promiscuous. I'm just being honest. I have to be honest with everything. And it's just a spiral of depression. the more you feel like you're being used, the more I would eat. You know what I'm saying? It was just a vicious cycle.
So
And I started developing all kind of health problems early on.
you started also putting on weight then as a teenager years?
Oh yeah, even as a elementary school,
Wow.
I was always the biggest kid. I was the tallest, but I was also the biggest.
Okay.
And people would think that I was a bully, but I really am like a gentle giant. I hate fighting. I'm a lover, not a fighter, to say the least. And I just, it's an oxymoron. I felt like I just wanted to hide. I think because of the sexual abuse, I think the weight was somewhat of a barrier. Like
Mm-hmm.
you understand what I'm saying? Like
Yep.
it was like a protection suit or something, but it wasn't. It's just like all these things that I look back on. I'm like, well, why did I do all these things? Why did I allow myself to be abused? Why did I allow myself to abuse me? You know what I'm saying? And needless to say, my childhood years and my teenage years were kind of rough. I've always had asthma, so clinically say asthma since I was a little baby. And even though I had asthma as a teenager, I smoked cigarettes. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
everything that you shouldn't do, I did. It's like, and as I got older, I would look and say, am I subconsciously trying to kill myself? I have to look at it. You have to ask yourself the hard questions, because why would I smoke a pack and a half of cigarettes a day knowing good and well that I can barely breathe sometimes anyway, you know? So I ask myself these questions, and I don't know. I have to wonder if it really is some kind of issue that I had. I developed asthma, and as I got older, I had respiratory failure. You know,
At
they
what age?
told me I was probably around 32, 35. I was young, you know, and I had my son was 2 years old, and his father had just died, and here I am in intensive care, hooked up to all these machines with respiratory failure. They told me that like 2 or 3 times, they told me that you will be dependent upon oxygen for the rest of your life. But one thing was always with me. I never held on to what they said. Like, oh, you're gonna always have something in me said, no, I don't have to say that is true for my life. I don't have to
Awesome.
believe that to be true for my life. And each time I found myself getting off the oxygen, getting off of this CPAP machine. I had I kind of was kind of nervous about this interview, because I don't like to reflect upon too much sickness, because some people wear their sickness, and I don't mean no disrespect, but some people wear their sickness as a badge of who they are. I want to get the hell away from that badge as much as I can. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to wear it like, oh, well, I had cancer. Yes, I did have cancer. I had cervical cancer at age of 39. But I don't talk about it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm free of it. Why do I have to bring it up? Some people, they do the pink ribbon thing. And I'm not saying anything against those people, but it's not helping anything. You're still doing the things that you did, and they're going to have that pink ribbon as long as they can, because guess what? There's no money in you getting better.
Exactly.
There's no money in you getting better.
We focus on our goals and our solutions. The past
Yeah,
is a window. We take a peek. Okay, that's where we came from. We've learned, and we focus
yeah,
on what we want to do.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, even like with the respiratory failure, I'll probably wait around like 4. When I went in, it was 1995 when I went in the hospital for respiratory failure. And I remember my mom took me, and I was like, well, let me smoke my last cigarette. That's what I was thinking about.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So in the parking lot, I smoked my last cigarette, and I went in there and I stayed in ICU for 11 days. 11 days. I weighed, my highest weight, I weighed 460 pounds.
My goodness.
And in those 11 days, they got 60 pounds of fluid off of me. 60 pounds of fluid off of me.
Wow.
Yeah. And
Wow.
yeah, wow. It's crazy. So you would think that going through that I would get my stuff together. No, you know, it's like, I don't know, sometimes you don't know what it takes for you to just say enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you feel like, am I just destined for failure? You know what I'm saying? Am I going to ever be able to overcome this once and for all? But one thing that I remember Gino saying is that even when you start on the master fast, no matter how long, it's not a do it one time and done. It's a lifestyle change. It's a trial and error. You got to keep doing it. You know what I'm saying? You got to fall and get back up. Like right now, I've fallen. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of things going on in my personal life, and it's still affecting me.
Yeah.
And in those 117 days, I felt so empowered. I felt so good having my vessel empty. That's very, I don't know, it felt so wonderful, like an empty vessel for you to conjure up the problems that you have, and then they come up so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I can't deal with this shit. I can't do this. And then all of a sudden, it's
Wow.
gone. And I'm like, okay, what is this? You know what I'm saying? When I first started Master Fast in the end of March, I had so many things. I didn't have a job. I was homeless with me and my 16-year-old daughter. And I was going through stuff with everybody in my life. Everybody seemed like they were turning their back on me. I just felt like I felt so sick, so many things going on. And I'm like, okay, here we are again. But this time it's like either I do something drastic or I'm just going to give in. I'm tired. I was tired. You know what I'm saying? Just tired of going through this, so many things, such a struggle. Everything in my life was a struggle. My weight, my health, unemployed, pillar to post, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I know it's a great person inside of me somewhere. I know that I have more power than I'm giving myself the opportunity to see, you know? And I was looking, I belong to a couple of detox groups because believe it or not, after all that sickness and stuff, I know a lot about health. Go figure. I know, I've studied a lot of different people, and I was looking on one of these detox, I think about turpentine, and one of the comments mentioned you in the master fast system. So I just went and I joined, and I just got to read it. Researching and reading, and I'm like, this is so different. You know what I'm saying? This is different. It's got a lot of aspects of certain things, but some of this stuff I've never heard of before. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm reading all the different stories, and I see all of the support and love from you guys, and everybody seems like it's a love community. Like, there's no other group, and I still say that there's no other group of people that has so much love for one another and want each other to succeed and to be healthy, physically, mentally, spiritually. There is no other group like that.
this is
even
why.
with all the people.
Yeah.
This is it, you know. So I felt nurtured even before I started. And any question that I had to ask, somebody was going to answer it for me, you know. Or yeah, I'm dealing with that. Or you know, everybody chimed in and encouraged one another. And don't we need more of that in this world today? You
Exactly.
know?
This is
Yeah.
why we asked you. Yeah, we want you on here. We as we say, we want people to share the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful. Because
Yeah.
how are we going to grow? How are we going to learn from our mistakes if we don't share? If we start
Exactly.
hiding? Right from the start, we've had everybody share everything, and this is why we're growing as a family. You know,
Mhm.
it's our strength.
And see, a lot of people want all the shiny and the good stuff, and you
Mhm.
guys never are like that. You want to hear it all because, just like you said, the good, the bad, and it's going to help somebody because somebody else is going through that.
Yep.
Somebody else can overcome because they hear certain things and know that, oh no, I'm not alone. You know, I'm not alone in this. I'm not the only person struggling, you know, with certain things in my life, you know.
Yeah.
And I was telling Raina, I was like, well, in the last couple of weeks, well, last couple of months, I've gained weight. And it's not even about the weight to me. That was very like, my mom like, oh, you're losing so much weight. I'm like, I don't care about that. I want optimal health. You know, and the weight is going to be a byproduct of being healthy. That's a given. That's gonna go.
Yep.
You know, you gotta want to be healthy, and you gotta want to change your life like drastically. You know, but it's so doable. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I was doing the 117 days, I got it to a place where I didn't think about food at all. Like at all, I didn't. You know, at toward the end, it was kind of getting hard for me to drink enough juice.
Yeah, that's
You
a
know what I'm
challenge.
saying? Or have y'all ever been like that?
Some people have to challenge. Yep.
And I remember you saying, well, you need to drink at least a certain amount because it'll have adverse effect. And it did because I would have like cramping in my feet and stuff like that. So I would make myself, you know, drink. And it's good, but it's just like that emptiness, that nothingness, the cleansing from, you could just feel things coming up on all different bodies, the emotional body, the physical body, the spiritual body, you know, everything. It's like, that's the thing I was telling someone. I said, it's not just about your physical. It's so much more than that. It's so much more than just your body.
If we solve the emotion, the physicality has no choice but to resolve itself.
To get in line. That's right. So, you know, a lot of things like like anger, you know, towards my parents, my dad especially, because he was very hard on us, very abusive, and I thought I didn't care anymore. I thought I was at a place, but anger came up really strong, you know. Then some days I would be, you know, depressed, you know, about my situation, but I honestly say the thing that kept me from really giving up on life was this master fast system. Because, okay, if nothing else is going right in my life, I got through another day of this master fast system. You know, seriously, and it empowered me in a way that I've never experienced before, ever.
Yeah.
And I've done different things. I've done the master cleanse with the lemon juice, and I've done that. I even dry fasted before, but it was never a system, you know, a full system to support me on it. Never a group of people to help support me with it. I was doing it on my own, and I with limited success, you know, because when you're in your own world and you're the only person that's trying to do something different to save yourself, it's like you're on a raft in a very vast ocean by yourself. and there's nobody
I've been there.
there to help you. So what do? You know, but if you seek, you shall find. And here I am, you know, with the Master Fast. I
Now,
didn't even.
how did you start when you were homeless? Well, how did you how did you do that?
And you had a daughter as well, right?
Yeah, the thing, what I did was I started, I didn't have the money to buy the tinctures, so I had to make my own. And like a month or so before that, I started making them. I'm sorry, I know I couldn't afford it, and I'm like, I can't let this be a barrier for me. I can't let this be a barrier because if I was waiting on money, I would still be waiting to do the master.
Right.
So I little by little, as I was learning, as I was going through the page, I would buy herbs here, buy herbs there, and then I would start my you know, making my tinctures, you know, shaking them up every day, you know, that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's what I did.
Awesome.
And it's been very hard, you know. That was the only raft I had in that ocean was Master Fest. And still it is to this day, you know what I'm saying? Because my situation hasn't really changed that much. I'm staying, I mean, me and my daughter in a room, you know, in my brother's house. I
Hmm.
sleep on the floor. She sleeps on the twin bed. And I thought I had a job, but I don't have it anymore, you know. And I have another brother that's very sick with stage 4 cancer.
Oh God.
And that's bothering me. That's my baby brother. And after all that 117 days, I find myself trying to fill a void again, you know?
Yeah.
I can remember the days after I ended the fast, I didn't want to eat anything. I still didn't want to eat. I think I even posted like food is so overrated because I honestly felt that. But here comes the creeping up the problems that's not getting resolved as quickly as I want them to. Like, why am I not working? Why not I don't have any money? Why don't I have a job when I did this heroic thing doing this master fast for myself? Why isn't everything else falling into place in my life? You know? And so here comes the drugs, the drug of choice, little by little, a little salt here, you know, a little, you know, and all of a sudden I found myself not feeling good again, weight coming back on, but not feeling good again.
Hmm.
And that scares the hell out of me because I was done with that place, you know, and I know that I have it within me to be done with that place. I did 117 days. That's heroic. I give myself a pat on the back because I never would have thought that I would be able to do anything such as that. And not only do it, but rock it and just like be in those 117 days, I would say that I was more me than I've ever been in my whole entire life. Ever. That I was more Kim than I've ever been ever in my life. I
Beautiful.
was creative. I write and stuff, but the writing was just coming. I was encouraging people. You know, a lot of people, you know, message me and ask me questions. I don't mind. I just like to encourage people because I'm like, this works. This works. But I don't know. I said, and either you trust yourself that you're making the right decision to do this, or don't do it. You can't be in between with something like this. You got to be confident and trust yourself, your own judgment, and just go all in. I went all in because I didn't have nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
And just, I had so much to gain from this.
Exactly.
So much to gain. I gained so much. And even though I'm getting back on my feet with my health, I know that it's there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But
I know it's there
you had the
always.
you had the taste.
Yes, and you and like you said, I said, well, he said it wasn't going to be a one master fast cycle and then you good for life. No, this is a lifestyle.
Mhm.
This is, I still. It just lets me know that I have a lot deeper to go. I have a lot more to
Yeah.
uncover, a lot more pains, a lot more things to unearth within me until I eradicate that negative, whatever it is that draws me back into
We we
that.
peel, we peel the layers of the onion one by
Mhm.
one, and everything
Mhm.
starts coming up as you've described,
Mhm.
and it just vanishes because you're done with it, and you just keep going
Mhm.
further deeper and deeper. We don't stop. We have our bumps. Who cares? Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Let me get up, wash up, and we start again.
Yeah. But isn't it beautiful though that can be that can happen? That there's always hope in this system. I look at a lot of people and they post stuff and they talk themselves out of it. They're trying to talk themselves out
Right,
of doing it.
right.
And I'm like, wow, you're missing the opportunity.
Mhm.
But you can't force or tell nobody, well, you need to do this, but they're already talked themselves out of it, because they think, well, what if this? Well, what did they say about that? What did the doctor say? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, what are all these people doing to help you right now? You're already, in a dire straits. You know what I'm saying? I just, I don't know. Maybe I got to a place where
Yeah. It's very
I just got to try this. I got to see. And in the first couple of days, I knew. I'm like, yeah, yeah, this is it. This is it. Because I've fasted before, but this is something different because you got the tinctures, you got the plasma pudding, you got all these tools to help you be successful.
Right.
Oh, a lot of days, like I would get up and my daughter would look at me like, Mom, you got so much energy, but you haven't eaten anything. I said, I said, I know, right? Go figure. And I would go and I planted a garden outside, and because I knew it would coincide with about the time that I would be done with my 108 days. So the master fast in my little garden outside, that was my oasis. And some days I would have just so much energy, and it would amaze me, like I've never felt that before. And how is this happening? How is this happening? Now, mind you, there will be days when I'd be like, oh, hell no. I can't get out of bed. I'm hurting in places that I haven't hurt it in a long time. And that's the thing about it. It would unearth things that you thought that you healed from
Yep.
in the same exact pain in the same exact place.
Mm.
It's like he said this was happening, and I be doggone, it's happening. Like I've twisted my ankle several times, and like 3 times I had ankle problems,
Wow.
and like it felt the same way as when I did it initially. It's when I hurt myself initially, like really could not hardly walk. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that. You like stay the course. It's stay the course. And after a day or 2 or 3,
Mm.
you will wake up and it's like it wasn't even there. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. It was freaking me out in a good way. It was freaking me out in a good way.
It
It
just
was
shows
just
how intelligent the body is.
so smart, so much smarter than we give it credit for.
Mm.
And the emptiness. I spoke about that earlier. The emptiness. It's like a stillness, emptiness. It's like you're in tune with yourself for the first time. Like I've tried to fill this void in my life, and it's not something that food is going to fill, but some kind of psychological way I always felt that food would fill it, sex would fill it, cigarettes would fill it, alcohol would fill it. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're trying to suppress some kind of pain or the pain that you've had to deal with in your life. And it only makes it worse. You only feel worse about yourself. You only feel lower, But this, it makes you, it gives you the opportunity to clean the slate. It gives you the opportunity to be empty of food, but so you can, how should I put it? So you can really, as these things come up, you can really look at it, see it for what it is, embrace it and release it, you know, release it. Even though I've, had a detour lately, it's still some things that I know I've healed myself from, as far as that's concerned. A lot of things, And I just know that I owe it to myself to continue. It's time to start another phase two, of the Master Fast, and I look forward to it because I know I got a family of supporters that's rocking with me no matter what, and that that means a lot to me. And I try to return the favor to people, who who say that I inspire them from my posts. I'm like, oh, you inspire me. Like, who, me? Like, really? I said, well, if I
Really?
can do it, I know you can do it. If I can do it, I know you can, and each one of us reach out to each other and to someone who might not have thought about something like this.
Yeah.
I always said it was radical. For most people, it's radical, but really, it just makes sense if you think about it. But the world has everyone's mind so twisted. Oh, you need your protein. You need your this. You need your that. And it's like we just drinking the Kool-Aid. We just drink the Kool-Aid all the time. About what's supposed to be, and we're getting sicker and sicker as a people. Mentally sicker, physically sicker, spiritually sicker. And it doesn't even have to be that way. It's kind of sad. Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff's going on out there in the world, and everybody has a lot of people have, just they don't use their common sense. They don't ask the right questions because the answers are all around us.
All around us.
I,
Yeah.
I've been posting a lot of downloads I've been getting the last few days. If you've been on the page,
Yeah.
I'm on my weekly nothing, just living on light. A lot of information comes through when you don't eat. Food is way overrated.
It is. And you're absolutely right, downloads, because when I was doing my 117 days, like far as writing, sometimes it would just come to me like I
Right.
couldn't even get it on the paper fast enough, like very profound stuff.
Right.
And I've been having writer's block for years,
Yeah.
probably because the food was probably blocking it, and the abusive relationship I had with myself, for as eating and not taking care of myself, that all the downloads couldn't get through to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And sometimes I would write things and I would just cry because I'm like, I know that was in me. I know this was in me and it's coming out. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can share it with somebody and so it can resonate with somebody like it's resonating with me. That's a big thing for me. I I want to use my creativity and whatever it is that I have when I came here, that special thing that we all have individually. Raina has her own light. You have your own light. I have my own light. But to be able to share that light and bring it forth to help other people find their light, that's what it's about. And it makes you feel that it feels so good when you can do that. But if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't even shine a light for yourself.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I remember reading your posts and stuff. I'm going, my goodness, all the things that you had challenges with and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
It's a huge list. I'm going, whoa,
Yeah.
what a brave soul to take this on.
But I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess so. I never thought of myself as being a brave person. Well, yeah, I guess you could say that I'm brave. We're all brave for.
According to what we've been taught and what we've been conditioned and everything, this what we're doing is crazy.
Yeah, crazy as hell.
You need to be a doctor in a hospital, right?
Hmm. I was just reading the post that you posted about your mom, and that really touched my heart because I know probably some people in your family probably like, "What are you doing?" But you
Oh.
loved your mama enough, you know. You loved your mama enough that you stepped in and interceded for her and helping to bring her back,
Mm,
to a better quality of life, you know.
yeah.
While I was fasting, so many so-called friends and family members would try to offer me food. I'm like, really? You know what I'm doing? Why are you trying to do that to me? Why are you trying to sabotage me like that? You know, I lost a lot of friendships. It just like awakened me to what really was. Some people don't deserve to go to the next level in your life.
Yeah, instead of looking at losing friendships, just looking at like losing waste, you're only gaining.
Exactly.
You're only gaining in
Exactly.
life.
Exactly. You're exactly right. That was the wrong word. And you're right. And it freed me up because I was one of those kind of people that if I'm your friend, I'm loyal to the end and I would put your needs before my own. And not I don't do that no more. How can you be anything good to someone else if you're not taking care of yourself
Right,
first?
exactly.
That's not selfish, that's self-care.
Yep.
I'm not gonna be any good for my daughter if I don't take care of myself before I even take care of her.
Yep. We
You
can
know?
we can make small sacrifices here and there, but we have to take care of ourselves in order to help
Mhm.
others,
Mhm.
you know.
So it just I don't know. It's just like this thing, like I was searching for something and it brought me to this. And I'm glad, I'm so thankful for it.
Yeah, it's
I,
interesting how people find it.
I know you probably got so many different weird stories of how people came across your group, huh?
Yeah, it's our group. It's not mine. Nothing to do with me. I'm just a messenger.
Well, thank goodness for the messenger then, because I see it's like how many, about 23,000 plus people now.
Yeah, whatever. Doesn't matter.
But I mean, that's crazy. So somebody's listening, somebody's interested, somebody's tired of the regular status quo.
Yeah.
Somebody's ready to make a change in their life, or they're at least thinking about it. So
Well,
that's a beautiful thing.
a lot of us have been given information that was not correct, and a lot of us paid prices for that, and this, that, and
Mhm.
the other thing. So it's kind of upsetting when you see so much of that out there. And then
Yes.
the day came where he says, "I think I can help a lot of people. I think I need to start sharing because I've been on all these other groups for
Hmm.
years, and things weren't working properly the way I like to see them." So the first thing when we decided to do the group is we need the best support system,
Hmm.
and that's what we've accomplished. Keeping the support there because it's not out there.
No, it's not. And the tools, all the different tools to implement while you're going on it, that's very helpful. Because sometimes I would be in pain and that burnt stick, I would be digging all in. My daughter's like, "What are you doing?" I said, I'm digging with this burnt stick because I don't know I don't understand all the plasma part, but it works. So I had like two or three of them. I had one in one in like in the kitchen, one it's wherever I needed it, I had it, you know.
Yeah.
And the breathing exercises was very valuable to me, you know. And like my asthma symptoms went away after the first, maybe like the first few days.
Wow.
A remarkable difference in my breathing. But you know, toward the end, it came back. It well, I'd say it just must have dug deeper. You know what I'm saying? And then it went away. Like now that I've been eating improperly and the season is changing, I can feel I'm not feeling as well, and it's kind of scaring me, you know. So today I've been on a dry fast all day. I said I'm gonna start my dry fast on the day that I have this interview, and I'm gonna start back. You know what I'm saying? Because if it ain't broke, you know, don't try to fix it, and it works. It works for me, and I don't know how many days I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna take it one day at a time this time, you know.
Yeah, go on to some of the mini options, and just stick with it.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
there's many ways you can implement it and keep it going. Keep it going.
Yeah.
Learn the fasting and the breaking cycles over and over and over and over, so it
Mhm.
becomes part of you, and you look forward to the fast. Have you been
Yeah.
maintaining your dry fast at least?
Yeah. Well, in the last couple of weeks, not as much, but I was being very religious about it. But I can tell the difference. I can tell that's very much the key. If you can at least do that, do your at least 12 to 16 hours a day dry fasting and the 1 24-hour a day a week,
Mm.
that really kind of keeps a lot of things at bay. If you can just commit to that. And like lately, the past couple of weeks, I haven't because I've been so stressed out. But it's something that I got to learn for myself, not to let nothing, no circumstance that I'm going through affect me that much, affect my health, you know? And I really want to learn that. You know, do you have any suggestions or
Well, yeah,
why?
we can allow the environment to affect us, or we can change the environment. It's your
Mhm.
choice. Your wish is your command. Either way. Like I like telling people, change everything. Change the direction of your bed. Change this. Change that. Change the time you go to bed. Change the time you go to sleep. The time you wake up. Move. Whatever. Just change everything. You can change.
Mhm.
It's your choice. Even right where you are, just change things because we don't want to. We don't want to have the triggers of that old lifestyle around us. We don't want
Right.
because we go back to that in the food, and all those triggers are still there. That's
Oh
not a good
yeah.
place to be.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. The triggers are waiting on you.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying, if you allow them, you open that door back for them, they're waiting on you, you know.
But
And
the biggest
I
change,
just
and, um,
okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
the biggest, I believe the biggest change is within. So we can change the environment, of course, but I guess maybe if we practice enough, fasting and eating clean and fasting and eating clean, you can be wherever you want and you won't be affected.
Mhm.
So at some point, that's the biggest. At some point we want it to be within the change, right?
Mhm.
You will not be affected by the environment as well.
Yeah.
Did you guys initially have that same struggle where
Mhm.
you felt something drawing you back into your old ways?
Um,
Everybody falls. If people that say they don't, they're lying. It's part of the learning and experiencing for us to grow. And
Mhm.
the thing is that we need to really, really be careful coming off these long fasts. We really
Mhm.
got to focus and try and maintain as best we can
Mhm.
breaking the fast because that's crucial. It could be dangerous. People have actually killed themselves. So that's really one focus. But and then after a few weeks go by, okay, well maybe a little bit of this ain't gonna do much. Let me taste a little of that. And then that one thing becomes two things, and it becomes four things, and it becomes five. And then you start feeling, and oh no, what am I doing? So this is
Mhm.
why we need a system where you have your weeklies, your daily, your weekly, your monthly resets.
Yeah, that's what it is, a reset.
Yeah,
Exactly.
reset. But then we're also planning our next one, or we go into the mini options where we do 1 week on, 1 week off, or just eating 1 day a week like Rana's doing. There's so many things you can choose, but you need to work out what's going to be able to be sustainable for you. The long one, I suggest everybody experience it because it gives you the cleaning and the experience, but then we need to stay refocused to where are we going to do, what are we going to do to actually be able to sustain, right?
It's about sustainability for sure. It's a journey. It's not a race. It's a journey. It's a lifelong journey. And I think with each Master Fast go around, I think all of us have probably found out something else about ourselves. Correct?
Exactly. Of course. Yes. All the emotions that start coming arising, these are all coming to the surface to confront us so we can embrace them and let them go. We're done with those, and work on, keep going for the next. Kim, this is the amazing thing about, fasting at these deep levels. You can resolve it all. We are carrying all our ancestral emotions on us because we can't be separate. So we can keep adding to the problem, or we can find balance for ourselves and for all our lineage way back. Isn't that amazing?
It's so amazing. So amazing.
So all these things, that we've experienced, the challenge, the good, the bad, the ugly, we can bring it all to a balance. That's what the key is, always looking for that balance. And, right now you need to come to terms. And the beautiful thing is that when we've eaten things that, weren't the best things, the next morning, your body's going to speak loudly. And then you have to ask yourself, okay, I know that it was whatever I ate, that I'm feeling whatever. Do I want to experience this again? You need to bring these questions up to yourself. And if you come up with a yes, say, okay, so why do I want to keep feeling that over and over? What's bringing me back? What's pulling me to that? And then, you keep asking these questions, and you're going to come up with your answers. And then eventually you're going to say, no, I don't want to feel that no more. No. When that whatever comes up to your face, that pizza, no, it's okay. I don't want to experience that again. I'm done with that.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Puke on the pizza.
So it's a whole learning experience for all of us, and it's one step at a time. So this is why the mini options, we actually wrote them out so you can look in there and see what resonates you. 1 week on, 1 week off, 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, 1 month on, 1 month off, whatever it is, 1 day a week eating. See what resonates with, see what you can work with.
Master Fast hybrid.
Some people can thrive on the hybrid. Others like just the full Master Fast. It's easier for them. Whatever, but something's going to resonate with you. For me,
Go ahead.
For me, I'm not eating, 3 days a week minimum. I'm not eating, drinking anything, right? That's what works for me now, and I'm looking to increase that more.
Wow, that's awesome. And the thing about it, it's so many different ones that you can interchange with. You can change it up, so there's really no excuse not to be successful. Because you can change it up from 1 or 2 weeks to the next, and still be doing something wonderful for your health.
We've had people with pretty amazing results just on the hybrid, and they're eating 1 meal a day, right? Except for dry fasting days. But it's we've had people with on the mini options getting amazing. Animals were putting them on the mini options. The hybrid and stuff, and and we're getting amazing results with animal. Thank Michelle who helped put together that wonderful program.
Yeah, that was awesome. even the little animals can have a better life. That's so wonderful.
She finally found a way for her bird to eat the plasma pudding, and it's getting amazing results from that.
How did she do it?
She'll share it when she's ready. She'll share it. We'll put it
That's awesome. And you know, a lot of people are like, I can't stand the pudding. It's just like you got to get it exactly right.
Yeah.
You got to get the consistency right and everything.
For
And if
you.
you get it for you, and
Everybody-
if you get it how you want, it's a treat to me. It was like my daily treat. Seriously,
That's dessert.
it's a dessert. Yeah, like someone's like, oh, it's so awful. You just gotta work with it.
Exactly. You know, it's just like anything else. Like if we go on around the whole planet, we look at all the different cultures and so on and so forth. We will find humans eat anything and everything.
Yes.
So, you know, it's just a matter of acquiring a taste for it. If you're brought up with something, you have acquired taste for that. But to acquire a taste for something does not take long.
Right.
You know, like people who've never eaten fruit, and then they start eating fruit, and maybe it may take them a month or two, and then they've acquired a taste for it. It doesn't take long. You know, insects, if you want to eat insects, eventually you'll acquire a taste for them.
I mean,
It doesn't matter what it is. So the pudding it's just a mental block for whatever that is. People eat cereal like it's out of style. What's the difference? It's just different shape.
Exactly. I always look forward to you guys' Sunday meals and your pictures. Like, okay, she got one day when she go in on that one day, and everything is so vibrant and beautiful. You know what I'm saying? A feast for the eyes. You know, so you have that one day to look forward to. You know that.
Yeah.
And back to the regularly scheduled program in the next day. And you're not missing anything. You're communing with your family on that day. You know, it's really like a social thing, you know.
That would be something that would work for you, right? On a weekly, you're eating.
Yeah.
So the whole day, you're just focusing on that eating. Even if you're doing a little bit of overeating, don't worry about it because the 6 days, you're back on full. You gotta clean yourself up. But what we found is, you know, if you go more than one day, it's going to be tough to jump back in. So that's why you either do the weekly with a 1 day would be best, just 1 day. And if you want to do something else, then you do like a 1 day, 1 week on, 1 week off, or a 9 day on, or 18 day off. So you can rearrange it and make that work for you.
Yeah.
And then sometimes do you feel like after that 1 day, I bet sometimes you look forward to going back on, don't you?
Yeah, well, the thing is, once it's a habit, like after 2 to 3 weeks, yes, definitely, because when you eat on Sunday, for me, at the end of the day, I'm more tired, and plus, because I don't eat all week, right? I feel like I'm saving so much time during the week, and I'm so productive. And then on Sunday, I feel like it's wasted. Oh my! I'm like, what did I do today? All I did was food and eat, you know. And then you're tired, and now the cravings can come back. Maybe the first week and 2 weeks, I would have cravings the next day in the morning, like on Monday morning, but not intense cravings. As soon as I do the colonics, I do not want to see food, you know.
And it's amazing too how the colonics and the enemas can help take cravings away. It can help take a lot of things away. I'm like, it's amazing. Like, who would have thought that would, you know? And honestly, I struggle doing them every day. But when I would go a day or two without it, I could tell, you know. And I'm like, no, you need to do your enema. You need to go get a colonic.
Yeah.
Because the difference is amazing. Even with not eating, it still would just, you know, the lady that did my colonic, she's like, wow, you guys, what are you doing? Like, she couldn't have believed. You know, I was told her a little bit about. She's like, wow,
a lot of
really.
Yeah, a lot of colon therapists we've heard, including her, were shocked from people.
My phone is full of pictures from my MasterFest clients. Wait, there's a worm.
Like, where is this stuff coming from? You know, like where? I haven't eaten anything. You know.
Yeah.
But it's good to see it go. You know. Yeah, it was there, but it's gone now, and that's a good feeling too. To knowing that it's not there anymore.
You know, this is how I met Gino. Gino's friend was doing the master fast 2 years ago. He did 40 days, and he was doing colonics with me once a week.
Mm-hmm.
I saw what came out of him. I was like, what are you doing? I've never seen it. And then he's like, oh, it's Gino's protocol. I said, give me Gino's number.
Yeah. Are you serious? That's how y'all met? That is awesome. So how long was it before you started the protocol yourself?
I met Gino. Actually, Gino gave me my herbs. He came to give me my herbs to my studio.
Mm-hmm.
I started the next day. I already planned it. I was like on and off thinking tomorrow. But then when he gave me the herbs, I started the next day. I did 108 days. And that was,
wow.
Yeah, I was determined. I mean, I knew that he knows what he's talking about after talking to him for a bit. I was like, this is something else. I want to do this.
Yeah, that's the same thing with me. Like I believe in researching stuff before I try, and I was like, the more I read and watched his YouTube videos, read all the things, I'm like, he knows what he's talking about. You know what I'm saying? This can work. I don't know how, but it was something inside of me that knew it would work. You know what I'm saying? Well, people, that sounds dangerous. You got to eat something. No, you don't. People think that you have to eat. You know what I'm saying? Some people still think that you have to eat 3 meals a day.
Yeah, and some people need to drink so much water, right? Same thing.
Yes. I did a 30-day water fast 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I did 30-day water fast, and I'm telling you, that was the worst feeling I've ever had in my entire life. I felt terrible. I had so much pain and so much, it just didn't feel right. And I was trying to drink a gallon of water a day. It was just like, I said, no, this is not right. It didn't feel right afterwards. And I lost weight, but I didn't feel good.
Yeah.
You kind of find out I don't even need all that water anyway. You don't need water like that.
Yeah, I don't see any water fasting in nature. It's something made up by man. There's no mass fast in nature either. We went to the stars to find the solution. Man's created problems we can't solve with nature.
Mm-hmm.
Where master fast comes in.
Yeah, I know. Like animals they dry fast though, right?
Yeah.
They're maimed or sick. They go into the woods and they don't eat or drink anything.
Salome, the pro tennis player, she shared her cat story. If you read it, 60-day dry fast, completely healed itself.
Just amazing.
Yeah,
just amazing.
So the vet was going to put it down. She said, "No, I'll let nature take its course." Went in the closet for 66 days. Came out, skin and bones. She still has the cat.
Wow. That just makes, that just sends chills through me because that's so amazing.
Animals,
isn't it?
Animals. We all know what to do. Yeah. It's we're all plugged up and we can't access that information.
Can't get the download. Just like you said, we're plugged up. We can't hear from the divine within us, because we're plugged up.
Yeah, when you're plugged up, you're easy to program, right? So all these triggers from corporations who want to sell, it's easy for you. That's why we've discussed this. Companies will not spend millions and millions and millions of dollars every year to advertise to go eat at their places if it didn't work. They would stop. They would save that money and put it in their pocket.
Exactly.
So they have to keep spending that money.
Trying to program you to do what they need for you to do to spend your money.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's no, I was thinking it was a good thing because I was financially going through so much. I'm like, all I got to do is buy grape juice and lemons. and it kind of helped on the grocery bill. You know what I'm saying? Like everything happened at the right time, Of
course, it's way cheaper than eating for most people. When people, depending on which country you're in, some things may be more, but eating is crazy. Like the amount I spend on food these days, it's laughable. And we're in a very expensive city here in Toronto. Like I spend hardly nothing on food because I don't eat much anymore. You know, and sometimes you want to indulge in a durian, $30-$40 for a little fresh durian, big deal. You know.
Wow. Are they that much?
Well, for fresh ones, yeah.
I never try. I want to try one. Are they that good though? Buy the frozen ones.
I love them. Yeah, the frozen ones are good. You get good frozen ones. Occasionally, they're great. I was addicted to them for a while, but like now, I can't go crazy on that stuff. But yeah, they're amazing. It's one of my favorite fruits.
It's like a custardy kind of taste or something.
Yeah, if you've never tasted it, if you can't explain it, it's you got to experience. Like Master Fast, you won't know until you try.
Yeah.
All good. The smell's strong for people, but
yeah, I heard the smell is kind of.
Yeah.
I love the smell. I love the smell.
It's like
and
onion, but
oniony, garlicky flavors, banana, vanilla is in there. There's a lot of flavors and odors in there.
Yeah,
Sulfury smell.
But it's like creamy and sweet. It's like a donut.
Yeah, it's a little bit fatty. 30% fat. It's not a high fat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not high fat. Like avocado, 70%. And then coconuts, I don't know, it's high, but durian's 30% fat.
Wow.
So you can't go crazy on it, but I did. I lived on durian for almost 4 months once, just durian and wheatgrass, nothing else.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. And then my body was done with durian. So I was eating that back then. I was eating one whole durian up to even 3 a day back then.
Wow, dude.
4 months' time, how many durians I ate.
Whoa. That's an expensive, that was pretty expensive, right?
Yeah. It was fun. It was an experience. So, I've done a lot of different things, a lot of crazy things, and it all was for purpose to, bring the information in to help people know what really works. And we keep learning and learning from everybody sharing. This is the key.
Yes.
When we share, we expand and we allow ourselves to heal even more. This is big, big key.
And it makes you feel so good when you can help somebody else. I don't know. You guys are not selfish people. I'm not. I just like to share. It makes you feel good. It's when you give of yourself or you give of information or anything that can help somebody, it's really selfish, really, because the way you feel when you do it, it makes you feel good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it makes you feel good about yourself.
This is what food should be, not physical eating. The soul. This is what we're at.
Yes.
That's what Master Fast is about. Forget about food.
It is.
We've been eating for all these years. How much more do we want to eat? How much more joy are we going to get out of eating?
I mean, and like, you've tried it all. You've eaten it several thousand times. What's going to make this time eat it any better than the first time you ate it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let's get off this roller coaster,
Yep. Occasionally we have some fun eating here and there. This is why I like to look at it in the reverse. Our lifestyle should be living on light plasma prana, and occasionally we eat. That's the way we have to look at it. Not the other way around. Our lifestyle is living on nothing, and then we have the joy of eating pleasurably whenever we choose and enjoy it fully. Not go crazy. Eating 3 meals a day and 7 days a week is history. Yes. Don't do that again. You don't want to go.
Yeah, I just think about how much time I spent planning around food.
Yeah.
Well, what do I need to do? What am I going to make? Blah, blah, blah. You spend so much time. I spend a lot of time on thinking about what I was going to eat, what I was going to cook. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I really didn't have a life. I wasn't really living. You know what I'm saying? That was, it freed me up. It freed me up to to write, to do the things that I love to do, to I've gotten closer with my daughter, and she it was very empowering for her. She's changed her, she's a teenager, but her eating habits are much better, and I think she just was proud of me because she saw from whence I came, and I know that planted seeds of courage in her to see that she can do anything that she sets her mind to also. So it reverberates, out, even people that don't say anything, they're watching. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I have family members like, oh, well, what are you doing? And I tell them like, oh, I couldn't do that. I'm like, well, okay, I'm not gonna force it on you, but it worked for me, as you can see.
Exactly.
And it's just interesting because sometimes people get used to you being, oh, she's the fat sister, she's the fat cousin, or you know what I'm saying? Like, they pigeonhole you into this mold, and that's how they always gonna think of you. So when you break out of that mold, they don't know what to do with you anymore. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, who are you now? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I can't I can't define for you who I am. I can define for me who I am by changing and not being coined as anything but what I want to be. You know what I'm saying? And aspire to be. It was hard. Like, sometimes I would look at myself in the mirror and I absolutely didn't know who I was looking at. And I would go and buy clothes, or my mom would buy me something. She's like, try this size on. I'm like, I can't wear that. She said, try it on. And I would try it on, and it fit. And it was like so surreal. Like, I got on it. How did you? My mom said, you don't see yourself, do you? She's like, you don't see yourself. And it's hard when you struggle with weight your whole life, and then you release the weight, and it's hard to see yourself as a new person for a while. It's a challenge, and it's like, who are you? I like what I see, but it still was just strange. I don't know if I can explain it to you. I don't think either one of you ever had like a weight problem, but it's very surreal at first. You had to get used to being a different person. You had to get used to being yourself. Because just like I said, going through this, I was more myself. Like, some days I was like, yeah, this is me. This is who I am. I don't know who that person was before. I always never felt like truly myself, because I didn't allow myself the time to get to know me and to strip away all the things that were bogging me down from seeing who I was.
Yeah, what you mentioned about all your family members and so on, the way they expect you who you are, you've allowed them to make who you are, and you've under that. That's why now you've broken free, and they're going, "Who's this girl?"
Yeah, some people don't like it. Some people don't like the changes when you make them.
Exactly.
But that's their problem.
Yeah.
You got to be okay with that. You can't worry about what other people think. That's another thing too. You can't worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think and what do you feel about yourself is the only thing you should ever be concerned about. There's so many lessons that I've learned. It's like you can write it. I'm probably sure that each person that's gone through the Master Fast system has a book that they can write just from going through it, about just going through it and about what they've learned about themselves and what else they have to learn about themselves,
100%, Kim. Exactly what you meant. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. You lost a lot of weight. That was but so many other things that you went through. But everybody completely transforms when you're when you've done the Master Fast. Who am I? This is you can't even remember who you were. It doesn't matter about the weight, even though I didn't lost tons of weight. Holy jeez. You know?
It's so much deeper. It's so much deeper than that. It's so much deeper.
Oh yeah.
It's so the weight is I think at the end in the beginning I weighed probably like because I forgot to weigh myself the first week. When I weighed myself, it was I weighed like 330, which I probably weighed probably like 340 probably before the first week. And at the end of the 117th day, I was at 235. So yeah, like really.
Yeah, but
And if I had to tell somebody, that wouldn't even be the major thing, the biggest change for me.
yeah.
That wasn't that wasn't even the major thing. It's the way I felt about
your before and after photos from the start. I'm going, whoa! You can't even tell it's the same person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's more to come because this is ongoing, and we owe it to ourselves.
We've just begun.
It to ourselves.
We've just begun.
We owe it to ourselves. Like they say, you fall 3 times, get up 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had a couple of Master Fast friends, like, they'll text me or message me and like, well, I ate this today and I feel so bad about myself. I said, why? I said, you went a whole week. You haven't done that before. This is new territory for you.
Exactly.
Don't feel bad. Don't beat yourself up. Just get back on it. Get back on it.
Clear the bowels.
Well, I feel so bad. No. It's still there for you. The protocol is still there waiting on you. Don't feel bad about, don't feel bad about yourself. That's the thing. We feel so bad when we don't live up to what we aspire to do. And then we say, oh, the hell with it, I'm just going to go back, But don't you owe it to yourself to try again, This is your life. This is our lives, and life, it can be so much more beautiful, so much more rewarding, and you can't, and one thing I've learned for myself, I can't allow my circumstances to dictate how well I take care of myself. I can't allow, because things aren't going well in my personal life, that I stop not taking care of myself. Mm-hmm. That's crazy, because eventually my circumstances will change and get better. Because I'm taking care of me as a person. I'm taking care of my temple, if you take care of a couple of places in your life, the other places are going to eventually catch up to that. I feel that. I just have to not allow myself to get down about things that are going on that's not what I want them to be.
Focus on your goals, Kim.
Yeah.
Do you have them written down?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
You have your goals written down.
Oh, yes. I think, and I took a long time, before I started, I wrote down every little thing I could think of.
Awesome.
And I would read it, not every day, but at least 5 times a week I would read it, and just to keep me focused on what is my intentions for my life? What is my intention for this Master Fast? What do I want to see, happen in my life? And I think that is very important, to write it down. It kind of cements things in your psyche about, and if you look at it, and it just further cements what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish for yourself.
Yeah, this is where, we have some people, they've think they've failed, they've run away, and we never hear from them. How are they going to help themselves?
Yeah.
We don't know what's going on. We hear some people bad mouthing, whatever.
They're not ready.
They're just not ready to,
Yeah, they're not ready.
to help themselves. They don't want to.
So
They don't want to take the plunge. Some people get scared of that feeling of healing themselves. They actually,
Yeah.
they don't know what to do with themselves. I got pain, and something's wrong. Let me bring some pain back into my life. This is what happens. We've all done it. Let's bring some pain back. Okay, where are we going to go? Let's go here and there. And it starts all over again. And then they numb themselves out, and they got that pain feeling because the love is missing in their life. They don't feel love, so they need to feel something. And the easiest thing for so-called comfort, which is not comfort, but that's what everybody does. We see it everywhere. Just turn around; it's everywhere.
Quick fix.
It's a crazy, crazy society we live in. But we need to break free and go into the peace, balance, and correct conduct lifestyle. Where we need to be. We all need to be in bliss. There's no reason for anybody to be in pain. Crazy.
There's no reason. Like, I think sometimes some of us can be like pain junkies, a pain junkie because, it hurts, but at least it's something I know. Going and doing something different and changing is something that I don't know what the consequences of that is. It's scary, that's what some people, think. But do you want to just keep living your life that way and be at the end of your life and you're like, I wish I could have, I wish I would have, you just have to just try.
Yeah.
Just try.
We just
I'm telling you, it's just so worth it. Just that feeling, I felt like I could just do anything.
You can. Of course you can. Look at what
amazing job. Yeah. I mean, but I just knew I just felt like I feel like when I was on it, I just felt like I could do anything that I wanted to, that I put my mind to do.
It shows you your potential. It shows you a lot you've never seen before. Even if you fall, and I have fallen many times, I still remember where I was.
Yes.
I remember that there is a way, and I want to go back to that feeling.
Exactly. And that's the thing. You know that there's a way because you allowed yourself to go through it. Can't nobody take that away from you. And if it's there, you know you can go back to it. But if you don't try, you never try, you don't know that.
Right.
You don't know it. We know it because we've experienced it before. And it's there. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful.
What was your dry fasting schedule like during the master fast?
Well, in the beginning, I would do I started like the first week, I just did like 12, Then as I got into it, it would be more like 16 to 18 hours a day. Yeah, because I just got to a point where I just didn't want to consume anything. You know what I'm saying? And it was good. I didn't feel any negative results for it, except for when I got to where I wasn't drinking like even a quart of juice. You know what I'm saying?
No.
And I was like, I was having a lot of pains and stuff in my feet, and you was like, you got to drink more juice. I said, okay. And as soon as I started back, it made a difference, But sometimes you get in a place where you just don't want to, you're okay with nothing.
Well, the dry fasting is definitely, it gives you a high feeling kind of. I mean, it gives you a nice feeling that it's almost addictive, that you feel like you want to do it more and more because it does feel good. But if, we don't want to do 18 hours a day because most of us, the body is not ready for that,
Right.
Once you've cleaned up a few times, you can work your way up a little more and a little more.
Yeah.
It's our bodies are so toxic.
Yes.
Once you remove the load, it gets easier and easier and easier. So there's no rush. There's no rush.
Yeah.
So I think like 14 to 16 was like my sweet spot, I think,
Yeah.
And some days you want to feel like you're Wonder Woman and do 18, like your body like, oh, no. And the dry fast, the monthly dry fast, I look forward to that. You can schedule everything around your lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like you work all weeks, start on Friday. You know what I'm saying? When you get home, or it's ways that you just have to sit and figure out how to work it for your life, and it can be worked out.
Did you do 3 days monthly?
Yes.
Oh yeah. What was your longest that you went?
The longest I went was probably right at maybe 3 days and some change. Probably
Wow.
about 76 hours or something like that.
Nice.
But I was really just not. I was vegging out. I wasn't doing anything. I had to make sure that it was at a time when I didn't have anything to do. And I would just rest, write, reflect. Do the bare minimum and just listen to my jazz and just meditate, do my breathing. You can make it feel like a retreat for yourself if you have all the things you need to keep you calm and keep you at peace. Sometimes I would actually look forward to it. I would light a candle and play my music. Music is very important to me, and I would do the breathing. And my daughter, she knew what time that would be, and she would kind of be very chill, because she knows that I'm dry fasting.
Which
And
breathing technique were you using? The Buteco?
yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
And it really helped. That's what I'm doing now because I felt because when it starts getting colder, you can have challenges with your breathing, and being that I have not been eating the best and not been following my protocol, I can feel, my breathing not being what it should be. So I've started back, doing the breathing protocol again too. It's just, it just makes you know that what you got to do,
Right.
and you just have to do it, and you have to be accountable for yourself. That's what when Raina reached out to me the other day, I was like, well, I have to let you know that I've kind of fallen out of sorts. She's like, well, that's fine, because I'm like, maybe they don't want to talk to me because, I've kind of had a little hiccup here, and I like to be very accountable. I like to, share what's really going on, because people need to see the transparency of even when you struggle, not just when it was good, when I was flying high, but when I've had low points, and then I'll post where I'm doing better. You know what I'm saying? Like you can overcome it and rise above it again. It's not an ending to this thing because the protocol is always there to assist you to get you back to where you want to be.
Exactly.
And that's the beautiful thing about it, It's always there, It's up to you,
Thank you so much for accepting to come. I mean, you were very easy. You were very easy. I mean, when I said, don't worry, come, you're like, okay, I'll come. So much because I have contacted other people and sometimes it's difficult and they just don't want to deal with anything. To do
Wow.
yeah.
I don't understand that because, well, everybody's different. So I just know that I wanted to share every part of my journey, and this journey is still continuing. And it's just I just look at so many people, I just be cheering them from the sidelines. Oh, I'm on day 47 or 108. I'm like, I remember day 47. I remember, it just makes you remember how you felt at that part of your fast, and like you can chime in and kind of give them some insight about stuff. It's such a sharing community, and it's not about the ego at all. It's about really just trying to help one another on a really serious note, with love, with plasma love. And if we're going to take something on like that, you need to have that type of environment in order for you to make it.
Yeah.
One of my friends that I met, she was like, well, I'm not going to keep posting and asking questions in the group. I said, why not? I said, that's where you ask. I said, there's never a dumb question. There's never too many questions. I said, have you been in there? I said, everybody's supportive. It's someone that's been through what you've been through. It's somebody there. Most of the time, it's more than one person that can give you some insight about what you're going through. Don't feel like you're doing too much in there. That's where you go.
Exactly.
That's where you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we do our best. Sometimes, it's not very easy for us too, because, for me, I have a full-time job, and when I try to help, it's, we do our best. And Gino is there. I mean, I don't know how he does it. It's very difficult. I mean, question after question after question. It's like more than 24-hour job, really.
And he's usually the first person to chime in I'm like, dude, do you sleep? Like, when do you sleep?
And
You're always there,
Yeah, we do what we can.
We do our best, and we do appreciate people being patient with us as well.
Oh, yeah.
Our best.
And y'all got a good support system, too. It's a lot of people that they got your backs, too, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
People do what they can. Everybody pitches in,
Yeah.
Each one of us, everybody who's had some experience pitches in. That's what I'm saying. Whoever shares is only helping other people.
Yeah.
And themselves.
Yeah.
It's that energy.
Back on track.
The real food is what we need. The real soul food, not the physical foods.
Exactly. And it does edify your soul. It is edifying to me and to others, And there's going to always be naysayers, people that come into the group just to debunk or to, and it's always so funny, like, why are you here? You just, why?
And they're pointing fingers, we're the ones doing.
Yeah. Have you done a day of it? No. So why are you here with all this negativity?
Yeah.
But that's just what some people thrive on. You know what I'm saying? They just need to have more colonics and enemas in their life.
Yeah. Time for a colonic.
Yeah. Not eat for a few days.
Although all these challenges are there also for a reason. I feel they help us grow. Although sometimes they do frustrate us, right? But they do help us grow. And something about ourselves. If I get frustrated about something that does not make any sense, I would go back and question why am I feeling this way? So it's my emotion, that I work to do it.
Yeah, the answers are definitely in the questions. Why is this affecting me? Why is it bothering me so much? You know what I'm saying? Just like you were saying about why am I going back to this feeling of not feeling well, or why am I doing this to myself? Because the answers are in the questions. You just have to look deeper. I think a lot of times we are afraid to really look at things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I think we're afraid of what we're going to find out about ourselves, but it's always healing in that, though. Yeah. But you got to be brave enough to heal, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual. You gotta be able to look at it.
Yeah, I remember writing an old post. When we strip everything down to the bare, and we put there with in front of our own soul, we don't like what we see. We want to cover it up because everything is in the open of what we've done.
No hiding place.
And that's why you see some people just running. They can't handle it, and they have to go back to their own states.
Yeah,
and they'll be pointing fingers left, right, and center. That it's everybody else's fault except their own.
They want to go comfort zone where they feel safe. They feel okay. I have my food. I feel okay. I don't want
Not ready to heal. Not ready.
No.
emotions or all these
We're
weird.
we're on this journey just like everybody else is. We're working on ourselves. This last couple of months has been quite a challenge. We're with my mother 24/7, bringing helping her bring her back, and trying to be as much on the page as I can. It's been a big challenge. So
No, I can only imagine because I have family members like, oh, I'm not gonna be able to do that, and they just shut down like, no, like they're not gonna even try to even think about changing.
exactly.
I just can't do it, and they don't.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that you were able to implement as much as you can
Yeah.
into your mom's life to
We can, we do what we can, and we elevate their soul, and we have to support their own wishes. You can't force anybody to do anything. It's not going to work that way anyway.
No, it's not.
We
It's not going to work.
work with enough tools that we can that they'll allow to work with, and that's it. That's all we can do. And
Well, at least she's open to some of it.
Yeah.
To stopping the medication, yes, I guess.
Yeah.
The colonics, she did some colonics.
Open for that,
that helped, and a few
to
other
a
things,
certain extent.
essential oils, and many other things I've been doing, and it's.
That's wonderful.
I can assure that if we left her in the hands of the doctor, she wouldn't be here anymore. I can assure
Oh
you.
yeah.
Great.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she has changed so much. Her
It
attitude.
was
She
horrific.
She was depressed. Yeah.
Wow.
Patients,
I have my brother. He has a rare form of cancer that they've only seen a couple of times, and they're just shooting him up with all this poisonous chemo. Like he initially he would go in every 21 days for 5 days of 24-hour chemo.
Oh boy.
And so now they're saying, well, it's grown. Like after all that, it's grown. Now they could give him even more. And I'm like trying to tell him there's, things he can do, but it's like people don't trust natural ways. They trust these white coats, and he's feeling so bad from not the cancer, but from the poison that he's been given. And it breaks my heart. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's really been stressing me out. And I'm like, am I trying to, why I can't go back to that just because I'm hurting for him.
You got to be the change. Show by example.
I know, but I can't. I've told him about things, but he just keep trusting. I don't know what to do. It's like you can't. What can you do? And it saddens me. It makes me so sad. Like, and then I get stressed out and depressed, and back to that comfort zone. But I gotta break out of that for myself. I can't let anything deter me from having a better life for myself.
Exactly.
But it's hurtful. I can imagine, what you're going through with your mom. It's hurtful. But at least she's open to some of the change. And that's a blessing.
Yeah. It's. I'm glad everything is working out well, and we move on. But first thing, there's some people who just never even think about changing anything in their diet. There's just no way. They just can't comprehend it.
There's so much comfort in the food, the memories of
your
life. You're eating this way. Why would you change now?
Yeah.
Being sick when you're feeling tired. Why would you change? For them,
Right.
Right. More comfort.
It's so deep. It's so deep. It's some deep stuff. That's why when I've had these issues the last few weeks, it's like, well, he said it wasn't just a one-time deal. It's gonna be times where you're gonna struggle, and you're just gonna have to implement the protocol and get back on it. It's a never ending thing. It's there for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't create this for yourself. Don't let there be any excuse, whether a ill parent, whether no ill sibling, no job, no your own car, no your own job, whatever. You got to be able to be okay right now in the circumstance that you're in right now. You got to be okay. And sometimes, honestly, that's hard.
Mhm.
It's hard because you try to to get it together, and it seems like you come up with opposition, you know. But you have to know that it's going to get better. You know, you have to remind yourself what you did for yourself. You know, in the summertime, no less. I went through the spring and summer master fasting when, you know, when all the things are ripe and good and, you know, ice cream and all. I did that. You know, and you gotta stop. I have to stop thinking about what I what I haven't been able to accomplish just yet, and focus on the things that I have been successful with, and build upon that. Not the negativity, but the positive things that I do for myself every day, for other people every day, and things will change. You know,
Yeah.
you can get bogged down with your circumstances
By,
sometimes.
by subtraction is how we gain. You know, V equals P, take away O. Arnold Ehret's
Oh.
formula. It's all by subtraction. I went for years in the so-called natural health movement and searching for adding this, that, vitamin, mineral, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, that, and it was caught in that trap.
Mm-hmm.
The answer was always in plain sight. I've always fasted, and I've always felt good fasting. And, you know, but then, you know, it's still caught in the trap. Oh, well, we need the minerals and this and that.
Mm-hmm.
It's always about subtraction. That's the only.
Always about subtraction.
Yeah.
Even the things that we've been taught in our lives,
Yeah.
a lot of the history, a lot of the everything we've been taught is total BS.
Yeah.
And it's about subtracting that too. You know what I'm saying?
The water for me, I studied water for many years, researching water. That was a big one for me. And when I broke
Mm-hmm.
through that, I go, holy mac.
Mm-hmm.
Even the water.
And so much opened up for you once the light bulb finally went off about that, right?
We don't need anything external. It's just our belief system that holds us back. And it's going to take time for some of us. It's okay. One step at a time, we'll get there.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been. I'm just thankful that you guys had that did even have me on. I feel honored. You know, I'm very grateful to have come across this wonderful system and these you beautiful people and all the people that are in our group that helps make it such a loving and nurturing environment. And I hope to continue to contribute my part in that for as long as I can, because a lot of people don't have support. You know, when a lot of people are the only people that's even contemplating doing anything like this in their whole. They don't know another single person that would even fathom doing anything different.
Mm-hmm.
So here is this wonderful group where you can come and get the nurturing and support and step out and do it, you know, and that's wonderful.
Yeah, you know, there's some places you can go and spend lots of money. For people who have the money, that's fine. But a lot of us who just can't do that, you can do this anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are.
Mm-hmm.
All you need is you.
That's all you need to be. Just be there, be available for yourself. That's it. Because if it was about the money thing, I still would be waiting. I still would be waiting to do this thing.
Yeah.
So you guys are awesome. You're rocking, y'all. You guys are there every day. You do this every Saturday. It's a commitment, and we have to be committed like that to ourselves to heal, just like you guys are committed to being supportive and putting the information out there for us to utilize so we can heal ourselves. So my hat's off to you guys. You're beautiful souls.
Thank you,
And
sister.
I just really glad that I came across it. And I think that I didn't know what I was looking for, but my heart was looking for something, and this is what it came upon. I think if you seek, you shall find eventually. You just can't be afraid when you find what you saw to implement it. Because sometimes you find you're like, I don't know.
You'd be surprised once you write down those goals how things start changing in your life.
Yes, exactly. It's something about that pen and the paper. It just starts some kind of reaction. It just makes it more valuable to you. You can look at it and see. Because if you just keep it in your head, but it's there physically for you to realize and actualize every day. So that's a very important part of it. You guys are awesome. I guess y'all know that though, right?
We know we're honored that you shared your story with us, and you've overcome quite a few things. Maybe you got some few challenges that you're re-feeling back and everything, but don't worry about it. Get focused, get on track. You know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Find something that's going to resonate that you can maintain.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sorry.
Go ahead. You may want to what now?
Yeah, you may want to, maybe do a few weeks, 30, 40 days, and then, focus on what you want to resonate that you're going to stick with it. Whether it's 1 day a week or whatever, focus on something. It'll come to you. What do you want to do? We have to retrain ourselves for breaking the fast over and over and over and over and over.
Yes, yes. And that's what I'm believing accountability. So I'm going to write out my intentions and I'm going to start back posting again because I really know that it's important for people to see what you're doing because it helps them also and it helps me be accountable for myself too. Yeah. So it's a win-win situation. So
exactly.
Yeah.
And with your attitude, and it's so beautiful. I can see you going far wherever you want. I can see you far, really.
Thank you.
I mean, this is beautiful. I mean, just keep
homeless persons.
Keep smiling and keep going. Don't stop. It's okay to fall.
And there would have been a time when I wouldn't have shared that with anybody, but you have to speak your truth about who you are and where you are. And I'm not defined by that. My brother lets me, I'm with him right now and he's supportive, even though a lot of people aren't here supportive, and I'm thankful for that. And if I did have a job, maybe I wouldn't have been able to do 117 days at the time. You have to find the positive aspects, even in a negative situation. There's positive things there that you can extract from it. Always something positive.
Mm-hmm.
Always.
Always. Thank God for everything.
Yes.
What do we have here? We have a few questions here. Let me see. Jeffrey's asking, when did you start filtering, or did we miss that for the kidneys?
Oh, well, it kind of took me a while to kind of filter. I would say a few weeks to really do it consistently. I think I've had maybe had kidney issues or something in the past, and toward the end though, I was a filtering rock star.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sandy, Kim, you're so awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. What a great lady you are. And Jeffrey, thanks for sharing, Kim.
Thank you.
Awesome. So if there's any last thing you want to say and we can wrap up.
Just thank you for being who you are. Thank you for loving people and wanting to help people. Thank you for just being the energy that you are and allowing us to open up ourselves to who we are as energy and light. You know, it's just a sharing of love and light, a sharing of a new way of being, a taking away, of things that do not serve us, but leaving us with so much more than we had before. You know, so much more of ourselves. You know, it's weird. The subtraction thing is weird, but it adds so much. The subtraction adds so much to your life. You know, it's
Exactly.
awesome.
Less is more lifestyle.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Kim, thank you
Thank you so
again
much.
for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Story.
Namaste.
We'll see you. We'll see you on the page, and keep that plasma love flowing. You know what to do.
Always, always. Take care, you guys.
All right, everybody.
Peace.
Have a good night. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.